Best of luck with that. Now, she is one of soap's best-loved baddies, and after 31 years, Emmerdale's Kim Tate is still as controversial as ever.
Kim Tate, pleased to meet you.
I don't let farmhands get in my way.
What about Kathy?
It's always been you.
Oh, good morning, stepmama.
Go to hell.
I'm leaving you, Frank.
Ah, that's great news.
The gas cylinder, run!
Don't put a price on a child.
£1 million. That's what I sold this thing for.
Who are you?
I own the place.
Jamie, who are you?
I'm his mum.
She's no one.
Jamie.
Doing?
What did I do that was so terrible, Jamie?
Do you really need me to answer that?
Cheers.
She is a shocker and a half. Actress Claire King joins us now as a new documentary about the Tate family airs tomorrow night. Lovely to see you. So we've had the Dingles, we've had the Sugdens. This is the Tates tomorrow at 7 on ITV. And they really, when they appeared in Emmerdale, they brought the glamour, the money and the power, didn't they?
Yeah, Dallas with Dung, I think Les Dawson called it. Yeah, it was kind of that changeover going into prime time. And, yeah, they were brought in to spice it up a bit, which I think they succeeded in doing that.
That's for sure.
And there is, I mean, there's a lot of archive to go through with her, isn't there? What was it like for you taking that trip down memory lane and revisiting those iconic moments?
Quite scary, really, because it was over 30 years ago that I first joined. I mean, you were probably locked in a cupboard with Gordon the Gopher, weren't you, Philip?
Yep, that's absolutely right.
But yes, it's quite scary when you think back and it's 30 years. So, yeah, it makes you feel a bit old.
Well, there have been, as we saw just then in the montage, there are all sorts of incredible moments. But I think a lot of people will remember that extraordinary love triangle.
That was one of my favourite storylines, actually, the Kim, Frank and Dave Glover. In fact, he's just actually sent me a message. I saw it on the phone as it came up, so he's watching. Hi, Ian.
What made it your favourite?
Yeah, it was a really good storyline. I loved it.
Why was that one your favourite?
It was a bit camp, and there was just such good writing about it. I mean, the immortal line when Frank catches Dave and Kim in bed, you know, what do you call this, overtime?
Yeah. And of course, she watched Frank die as she powdered her nose.
Yes, that was a very camp moment, and everybody remembers that one. But yeah, it was a classic, really.
She's had many a violent moment in her life, hasn't she?
Yes, one or two. She was always slapping people and trying to ride over people with a horse and trample them and hit them with a whip. And yeah, she basically murdered Frank, really, to a certain extent. Yeah, she left him to die.
So what's the reaction been over the years to you? Because people can sometimes forget that she is a character.
Yes, they can. I've been hit over the head with the brollies and all sorts of things over the years. And I think now, coming back sort of 2 years ago, after a 20-year gap, obviously it's a new generation. So there wasn't social media and things about in those days, which there is now. So I don't think they kind of saw Kim the first time round, so I don't think they took to her straight away. But she is like Marmite, you either love her or hate her or love to hate her.
Yeah, and you mentioned social media there, and actually they've struggled with that recently, and you've decided just to go, do you know what, I'm just coming off of that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I do Facebook because I've got a lot of friends who live abroad and it's a lot easier, and you can control who you have on and who you talk to. Yeah. But quite honestly, I just don't have the time. And when your phone's going ping, 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 you know, I'm not one of these influencers or whatever. I'm way too old for all that. So just to save time, I just got myself off it, quite honestly.
So did you actually delete? Have you, things like Twitter or whatever, you deleted them?
Yeah.
And so was it purely because you didn't have the time, or did you just think, do you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore? I've thought that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, And also, like with Facebook, if I don't know the person, you know, because you used to accept friends willy-nilly, but nowadays I just don't. I have people I actually know on it.
Yeah.
So if a birthday comes up, you just go, whoosh, delete.
And so I guess you must be looking forward to going back to work really now, because you were one of the last ones to go back on set, because you've been shielding throughout lockdown, haven't you?
Yeah, I had 12 weeks, and then I got a doctor's note, so I could have gone back basically in June, but I think they were unsure at work, so they wrote me out for a few extra months due to my rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
So, but I do go back next month. So, yeah, fingers crossed. If the old brain's working okay.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
So how does that? Does it affect? Because you got it when I think you were very young. You were 28 when you started with the
Yeah,
RA.
it was 30 years ago, nearly, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And this is Rheumatoid Arthritis Awareness Week. So we've got this campaign called We R.A priority, because we want our voice to be heard. So as people understand it better, you know, whether it's a family friend, your mates, bosses, whatever, because if it is treated as a priority, the impact can be absolutely life-changing. And most of the time, you know, there's so many misconceptions that it's an old person's disease. And as I say, you know, I was in my 20s, and a lot of people are diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And it takes a while for it to be actually diagnosed. It's often one of those diseases where it goes unnoticed. So it's all those little everyday struggles, you know, like buttons. Costume department are brilliant. They do up all my buttons before I put my shirts on and jackets and what have you. But using a phone, things like that, just little everyday struggles you have to go through. You know, I mean, I send more Egyptian texts than my mother does.
So what it does, the reason why you were shielding is because does it impact on your immune system?
Yeah, I've got a low immune system,
Yeah.
so you know I just have to watch out basically. But I'm fit and ready to go back, apart from the old brain, and that's what people don't understand. You know, you can get a very musty brain, you get very tired easily. I'm probably in the wrong job, aren't I? Because I know I'm going to have a lot of lines to learn.
How does it affect you learning your lines?
Yeah, it does. I sit for about 2 hours in a bath, keep topping the water up with a glass of sherry, and and learn my lines. I've got to have total focus and everything. I can't take a phone up or anything. So, yeah, the older you get, I think, anyway, it gets worse. But with this condition, it is harder.
Well, I think it's good to, and I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that you're talking out about it as well, discussing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have done for years, but that's the worst thing. It doesn't seem to have changed over the last 30 years, you know, so we want to make it a priority.
So I think the last time we saw Kim was in August, actually, on our screens, and her daughter-in-law had just chased her out of the village. So do you know, or what can you tell us when you're going back, where we might find her?
I think I'll be trying to chase her back out of the village.
And I suspect you'll win, actually.
I think you want revenge.
Yes.
Well, it must. I bet it's going to be a huge relief when finally you can get back to work. I know they'll be thrilled to see you, but I bet it'd be great for you to get in and just get back at it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I want to get the brain back up again, so...
Yeah, well, thank you. It's lovely to talk to you.
It is. Thank you.
And if they want to go on the website, I guess you've got it on your thing, but it's wearapriority.co.uk. So thank you for that.
We'll put it on our app for you, no problem.
Thank you. In the meantime, Emmerdale family...